This is nefarious.
They're trying to bamboozle us. They're boozling us. We've been boozled. No, I'm not boozled. I refuse to be boozled.
Yeah, and
no
then,
boozled.
oh God, we're not being boo-boo-boos.
I will not be laboobled.
I will not be laboo-boo-boos. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of
Oki's up on
Oki's
butt rubbing up against me.
Oki's taking over the podcast. Welcome to another episode of Let Me Know.
I'm Sam.
I'm Caroline.
And people that are watching on YouTube, I just want to address something. I don't usually look like this. Here's what happens.
Wait, you look good.
Just take my face off. I knew. And those rascally kids.
It's Benson Boone.
Dude, I have been to your house 5 times this week. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Because here, let me lay it out. Podcast on Monday. Tuesday, I had to come back and get the SD cards because I forgot them. Then
Which don't forget them tonight.
Yes. I need to make a Post-it note on your door when I leave, like a checklist. I'm also starting to leave things. I need a cubby here.
You also texted me something strange.
Oh.
When you said, Sam, don't forget the pharmacy.
I've started using you as my personal reminder.
Yeah, you can ignore this. This is for me. So when I text you, I'm heading over, I see this, and I remember to go to the pharmacy.
Because I'm jet setting tomorrow. I'm getting on a plane. And so I realized that I didn't have enough of my medication to last me for my trip, but I needed to get more medication.
No medication.
Might be a little fun.
Might be a little fun.
A little crazy. The thing I notice when I'm off my meds, there's a lot of different things that'll happen, and they always come up at different frequencies. So sometimes I'll be off my meds and day one I'm just a little goofy, and then sometimes I can go 3 days before I get a little goofy. But the one thing I notice, which is something that changed a lot when I got on my meds, is my ability to know if I'm oversharing, which is very bizarre.
Wait, if you're on your meds, you know you're oversharing?
When I first started my medication, the first week, I noticed that my dial of, am I talking about myself too much, and am I talking about something that's just oversharing? When you're oversharing?
Yeah, but isn't that what a podcast is all about?
Yeah, but sometimes you're just wow, maybe I shouldn't have delved.
Do you mean in your personal life?
My personal life. Ooh. I'll be ooh, that was too much trauma for that casual conversation. Nah. So when I first got on my meds, I noticed that I was aware that I wasn't quite sure when to stop myself when I was talking about something. And then it neutralized out. But now if I'm off my meds for a day, 2 days, maybe 3 days, I'll be having a conversation with somebody and I'll notice that I just will just keep going. I'll keep talking. I was on a drive with one of my friends, and I remember I pulled into the driveway. It was a 5-hour road trip. I pulled into the driveway and I just had a realization. It's I came out of my head fog and I went, I didn't take my meds today. And then I thought back on the whole car ride, and I was I think I might have been oversharing. I might have been oversharing a little bit.
Well, but maybe it's oversharing for you because you're kind of guarded.
Yeah.
True. Otherwise. Mm-hmm. And so maybe it's really just actually normal amount of sharing. And
maybe I get paranoid that I'm overshared.
I think you do. Maybe. So what happens if you're off your meds for a week? Do you
the walls melt?
Do you do an insurrection?
The walls
what
melt.
happens? Are you climbing up the walls?
Just hanging on the ceiling like the Exorcist, my head spinning around. No, I get a really bad brain fog. I've talked about this before. I'm on meds for bipolar too. I get really bad brain fog, and I just
feel... It's the sequel to bipolar.
It's not as good as the first one. Not as exciting. I just feel a sense of kind of anxiety, a sense of panic. It's probably pretty similar to a lot of other withdrawals of a medication. But I do feel the walls are melting. I was really lucky. Barry, my ex-roommate, was on the same meds as me. So sometimes we would walk into the other person's room and be like, hey, can I get one of those?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
It's like,
if we like forgot to like refill our meds or something weird
I
happened.
know people will do that with their dogs. Like if their dogs are on anxiety medications, sometimes they'll be like, okay, wait. So to bring things back then, you were here Monday for podcast.
Yeah.
You were here Tuesday because you forgot the SD cards. Did you come here on Wednesday?
No, but I was here on Thursday
were
because
here on
we were
Thursday.
brainstorming the charity stream, which we should talk about because that was really cool.
I thought we did that on Friday.
Well, we brainstormed on
But
Friday.
you came here for another reason.
Maybe I just wanted to be here.
Yeah, maybe you were just
I just missed you guys.
Yeah.
There's times now where like Will walk in the house and I'm here and he goes, "Oh, hey."
Yeah. No, he's like, finally.
Welcome back.
Finally you've moved in.
I think he kind of low key likes having like a roomie a little bit. He seems pretty like
the
excited.
shit do you think I am?
You're like a roomie with benefits. I don't know.
I'm a roommate with benefits.
I'm just a chill guy.
So you came here Friday because we were supposed to do a fundraising stream
on Saturday
for Point of Pride.
But I got a headache.
Yeah, so you got a migraine. It was very homophobic.
Let's see. But I still came over.
But you came here on Saturday as well.
Yeah.
And then we moved the fundraiser to Sunday, so you came.
And now I'm
Sunday as
back.
well. And
it's Monday.
Let me just say, it's a long trip to French Polynesia.
It is. It's a bit of a trip.
Yeah, you've probably got crazy miles.
And not only is it a bit of a trip, the difference between the minimal amount of time that it could be and the maximum amount of time it could be is like a third to like 3 times as long.
And you have said before that you sometimes will just sit in the car in silence, like you'll drive in silence.
We have talked about this, yeah. I'm not always a music listener. You know what I listened to today though? The soundtrack to Expedition 33.
Oh,
really good. It's like nice, like French music, and sometimes it's
okay.
like a little bit quirked up.
See,
but
at least like if I have to drive, I put on a podcast. I'm listening to the news. Like I feel as if I'm not, trying to not just.
You know what podcasts I listen to when I'm driving here? Shout out, Gigglysquad.
Oh, I haven't listened to them yet.
It's Hannah Berner, and Paige DeSorbo. I have no idea who they are necessarily. They're definitely 2 famous people that started a podcast. They're not famous from.
Paige DeSorbo's
she,
name.
I think, is reality TV.
It's giving reality.
She
TV.
hosted an episode of Love Island recently, and she passed out during the filming. She was talking about that. So like I would. Like podcast goals would love to do because they're just the reason I listen to them is because
you would love to be on their podcast.
No, like a merge, like we do a crossover episode. They just like the name of their podcast is called Gigglysquad, which I think is kind of like a silly little name, but they literally just talk about stuff and just laugh. They just giggle. They crack each other up, and it's so fun to listen to because you'll be like listening to them and you realize you're just laughing and you're like, I'm just laughing because they're laughing because they're best friends.
You're like, it's like I'm laughing with them.
It's like I'm laughing with them. So I listen to them because it puts me in kind of like a chit chatty, like silly, goofy mood.
Yeah.
So Paige went and hosted an episode of Love Island in Fiji, and not to retell her story, but I'm going to retell her story. Basically, she was like, I'm going on Love Island. I've always wanted to go on Love Island. I've got all of these Love Island dresses, sending pictures to her friends. Is this like a Love Island dress? They're like, yes, that's great. The show calls her and says, we need you to bring a lumberjack outfit. And she's like, what?
A lumberjack
She's
outfit?
like, I bought all of these outfits.
A sexy one?
Just lumberjack coated. Do you have something that's lumberjack coated? And she's like, I don't know. And so she finds this dress that she already owned that's like a kind of a suede brown dress.
Sure.
And she's like, is this lumberjack? They're like, yep, that's perfect. And she's like, I've already worn this before. It's on my Instagram. I've already worn it. And of course, like, God forbid. And so she goes, and it's Fiji. And so it's just like 1 billion degrees, and they're filming for like 8 hours. And she ends up just passing out.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So when I was watching that episode, she just disappears. All of a sudden.
The dangers of being a lumberjack.
Yeah. And so the suede lumberjack dress took her out. But that's what I'll listen to on the drive here.
Okay.
Or silence and my own thoughts.
That kills me.
Mm-hmm.
I would crash. I would crash my car.
Yeah. You did a fun thing today. What did you do?
Oh, I did. I went over to I went for Tina Kitten's birthday. Tina Kitten, who is a streamer and a friend of ours. And we did a necklace making stream.
Did you make a necklace?
I forced Cutie.
Oh no, I did see that because you said, hey, you said, I'm going to make this necklace for you. And she said, with those beads?
Yeah, she said with those beads, I was like, oh, no, you're for sure wearing this. Because the thing about these necklaces is that they take like 2 hours to make, right? The beads
also
are so
feel drunk.
small and intricate. Yes.
Yeah.
Because you're just sitting there like you're putting the thing through the thing.
That's the moment. There's moments as a 30-year-old where you realize you're 30, and now trying to do small, intricate things like that, I'm like, oh,
well,
wow.
that's why I chose the beads for my necklace, and I cranked that out in like 15 minutes.
You know what I miss? Do you remember those candy necklaces?
Oh, yeah.
That would you'd get sweaty, and then it was just candy goo all over your...
And the thing is that it actually wasn't good candy, but it was exciting because you could wear it around your neck.
It was like ring pops.
Yeah. It
or
was
like any of the other stuff.
Okay, I do fuck with ring pops though, still.
Yeah.
Love a ring pop.
Getting engaged by a ring pop would be powerful.
That size is probably the size of Lauren Sanchez.
I was going to say, can we talk about that? Can we talk about that a little bit?
I was debating having this as my let me know, but I think we should just get into it.
I
have other stuff.
I wrote some stuff down about it. Unfortunately, we don't know a whole lot yet because it's like, I think it's still kind of happening.
We know enough though.
Yeah.
Okay. And what we know is this wedding costs about 50 to 60 million, which, okay, cheap.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Okay, Jeff. Thought you were, big time billionaire.
Cutting corners, weirdo.
50, 60 million. They had it in Venice. Mm-hmm. And there were a lot of protests, people who were protesting the presence of Jeff Bezos, who were protesting this being done in Venice, where they are, the local people who live there are struggling. And I think the thing that stood out to me the most, aside from what is up with these wedding dresses that are like so conservative but like sexy? But
yeah,
you know who it reminded me of? Olivia Culpo's wedding dress. Do you remember when her wedding dress hit the internet and people were like, "What is going on?" Where it's like it's like this demure, virginal. Oh, like it's giving.
Yeah, I do know. I've seen this photo.
Yes.
Yeah, I do know what you mean. It's like sexy. It's conservative.
It's like this very conservative. Like, this is my little tiny waist.
Yeah,
but look at how.
What is that trying to like? What are we trying to replicate with this look? Because like I don't hate it, but I don't. I mean,
she is Christian.
Love it.
There's a whole Christian thing going on there. Yeah. But Lauren Sanchez's was so interesting to me too.
Yeah.
Because this woman, like, notoriously has also had so much plastic surgery and frequently is like, she got the assets out.
Yeah. I saw a picture. It wasn't the picture of her in the wedding dress, but it's the picture of her in like this pink dress. They're like on the yacht, like, hello. Yes, well,
she had like 50 different dresses.
People.
The other thing
her waist.
The other thing too is like, so does this Vogue cover? It just means that if you're rich enough, you can just buy a Vogue cover. And is this Anna Wintour's last cover before she stepped down as editor-in-chief?
Dude.
Because I have to say, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, it is.
That is embarrassing if your final Vogue cover is Lauren Sanchez Bezos.
Yeah.
Who is on the cover of Vogue because she married a multi-billionaire.
And the dress, I mean, I'm not going to pretend it's the ugliest dress in the world just because I want to bash on rich people.
I will.
I will.
I'll say it's giving Temu.
It's kind of giving like mermaid style, but 2014 a little bit. You know what I keep seeing too, this style. I don't know why these pictures are so small when I click on them for some reason, but one thing that I keep seeing on wedding dresses that I absolutely hate is this like vertebrae thing that keeps happening.
It's like, here, let's put your spine, but on the front of your body.
She looks like if you like took out the whole dress and just had her head, it looks like she's just like on a spine, like somebody went and like ripped. It's crazy. And then it goes down to like, hi, we can't actually walk or move our legs. And then, I mean, I don't know, man. It's like, and also I looked it up because obviously she hasn't revealed how much it is. The guesstimate of how much her bridal ensemble, that's including like hair, dress, everything, was 1.5 million.
Like, you know what I will say when you go, I don't want to just hate because they're rich. No, you absolutely should. It actually means you need to hate.
It should be
more.
perfect. It should be perfect.
Money cannot buy taste, is what I will say. Okay. And so, no, I'm happy to be like, but the other thing that stood out to me too. So let's talk about all the celebrities who were there. All right. And the fact that like Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez, these people, like, they're not friends. You know what I mean? This was what is Sydney Sweeney doing here?
Yeah.
What are these influencers doing here? This just felt like, oh, you're just
networking.
You're just paying for for celebrities to be here.
And it's,
you know what I mean? Like, it's all about the
event.
aesthetics. It's all about, oh, we get onto our boats and we're being, all these very glamorous photos. And thank God that there are at least some people in Hollywood who are calling this out, namely one of my mothers, Charlize Theron. So Charlize, she came out and said, those who attended Jeff Bezos' wedding suck. Because Jeff Bezos is, first of all, Jeff Bezos, but second of all, recently supported Donald Trump. Like, he was at his inauguration with all the other tech oligarchs.
Yeah.
She said, immigration policy has destroyed the lives of families, not criminals. Women's rights are becoming less and less every day. Queer and trans lives are increasingly being erased, and gender-based violence is on the rise. This isn't just policy, it's personal. But unfortunately, we won't know who actually attended because they were wearing their hats.
That's the hat that I was trying to find this morning.
Leonardo DiCaprio had his hat on, so you couldn't tell that you can't tell that it's Leonardo DiCaprio who was at Jeff Bezos' wedding. So unfortunately, we'll never know. We'll never know that Leonardo DiCaprio was at the wedding because he had his hat down in front of his face.
Yeah, thank God he did that, or else we would know that Leonardo DiCaprio
would have
went to
no
the wedding.
idea that was Leo DiCaprio.
Exactly. Yeah. I did hear that Orlando Bloom went as well, newly single.
Newly single. Orlando Bloom, who was with the Kardashians.
Yep.
People are also praising Kourtney Kardashian for not going, and I'm like, guys,
she probably was busy.
I said, I don't think Kourtney Kardashian didn't go because she was making she was making a statement in that.
She was busy that day.
I don't think that that's the reason why. Also, Rosie O'Donnell just called out Oprah.
I saw that. Also, Usher went.
Dude, this is what I mean
on his roller skates.
Yeah, he roller
He's
skated.
The flower
he
girl.
roller skated across the canal. It's okay. Here's the people that we've seen photos of that we know. It was like Tom Brady, Usher, the Khloe, Kim, Kendall, Chris, and Kylie.
And Chris.
Just with her new facelift.
She's like, congratulations.
Hey. Also Oprah. Also Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump. And their children.
Of course.
By the way, Jeff Bezos invited Donald Trump.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, of course he did. Of course. Why didn't he?
Why didn't he go?
And I think it is one of those where, like, in the past, people were more... I mean, look, we still live in a culture that's like celebrity worship, okay? But I think more and more people are looking at these very, very wealthy people who are all part of the same club. It doesn't matter like what publicly they state, oh, I'm a liberal, whatever. They're all in the same club. And I think they look at it and they're like, you know what? I'm fucking done. I'm over. I'm over this.
Right. Would you go?
Over this.
Would you go?
1,000%.
Yeah. I would,
we
you know
would go
what?
For research.
Can I be so honest? Like, I want to be like, oh, fuck them. And be like, I'd be so nosy because apparently, like, they were required to do like a social media blackout. Like, if you're a guest, you have to do social media blackout while you're there.
With rich people.
Yeah.
Is they'll do the social media blackout.
Right. So it's like, would my curiosity like tempt me to go just see what like I can't even imagine what the fuck do you spend $50 million on? Did they pay for all of their guests to attend? Did they have like handkerchiefs that were woven?
Well, one thing he tried to do was he tried to buy off conservation groups in Venice. Jeff went around and was like, here's some money. So
well, also I heard that they actually had multiple different venues because they were trying to avoid the protesters. So like they had multiple venues set up ready to go.
probably paid off some of the politicians, you know, where it's like, hey, here you go. It's a nice little donation. But otherwise, like the 50 mil for the wedding, you know what's sickening is like, we can't imagine. I mean, that is just a disgusting amount of money, right? That is a disgusting amount of money. But when you're that rich, I mean, it's like, okay, the motorboats that took everyone across the canal, those symbiotes, you know, there you go, $500,000, right? Just for that. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But it was like when we did the Reddit thread where it was the one about like, what's something that rich people do that people who are not in that income level could never possibly imagine, like how they'll take separate private planes in case one of them goes down, and then at least somebody survives to like take over the company. So we would have to like use our wildest imaginations. Yeah,
I was going to ask, like, what do you think happens?
You could spend that money.
Like, what do you think happens? What do they have? I guess they tried to have Elton John and Gaga.
Dude, wait, I just saw that.
There's no way Gaga would go, right? She's getting a little corporate, isn't she? I've noticed that.
Oh, she's Gaga. If you think, again, I just need to like, everyone, okay, if you think your favorite pop artist is some revolutionary, is like out here fighting in the streets, using their art to genuinely elicit real change, ain't no way.
They're not.
Ain't no way. The reason that Gaga reportedly, the reason that Gaga did not perform is because she asked for a $6 million fee, which Jeff Bezos declined, which is like kind of fucking funny. It's Jeff Bezos worth what, 200 and something billion dollars? Like, who knows? That he wouldn't pay $6 million for Gaga to perform.
Is Elton John though?
Maybe he felt, you know what? Maybe it was like that was a slap in the face because he's, you know, it's Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Like,
he's like, how dare you?
Is here? Like, how dare you ask for a fee this high?
Yeah. What else kind of things do you think rich people have at their weddings? Let's like use our brainstorming. I just want to imagine sacrifices.
Oh,
maybe like blood rituals.
Probably.
What kind of food do you think
we're about to attract the like QAnon? Like Hollywood is a cabal of child sex trafficking. Hi, QAnon. Welcome into
all of the waiters are children. Oh, finally. Do you not want us to talk about that? I just want to brainstorm for a sec for comedy's sake. Like, what the most lavish things at a $50 million wedding do you think are like? Like, do you think that they have children for waiters? Do you think that all of the glasses are made out of diamond? What kind of, do you think that they have like
maybe
fire
just,
dancers?
Like, really fancy napkins?
What is I don't even know what a fancy napkin looks like.
I mean, I'm
because I've seen really expensive weddings that are not even that, and they're crazy. Like they have like crazy performances. And this is also, they're having like a pajama party because it's not just one day.
Oh yeah, no, it's
multiple days. So there's the wedding, which we don't even know about yet. But one of the nights they were having a rich people pajama party, which is nuts.
Yeah.
Kind of sick though. I mean, not, you know.
Yeah, I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars on flowers.
That's
like
true.
Cake that is like
an
one
ice sculpture?
slice of a cake is $100.
Oh, the cake. They
could spend. You could probably spend like $50,000, $100,000 on just a cake.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm trying to think of all the things that you do at a wedding. Like
okay. There's decor,
right?
Flowers,
right?
Venue,
right?
Catering, the attire, entertainment, travel and accommodations, the video team, photography, and then just other shit. Like that's just for the wedding day too. And then if you know when you're having one of these like billionaire wedding affairs, these things are like extravaganzas.
Yeah, they're crazy.
It's like when you'll see what was that insane Indian wedding that the Kardashians and a bunch of celebrities
I think I know what you're talking about. Also, Indian weddings go fucking hard.
Isn't that crazy too that you'll just see these rich and famous people at these weddings?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you guys grow up together? Or like, is this just because you are all rich and famous?
I don't get invited to weddings very often. You go to weddings a lot because you have normal friends.
I used to go to weddings a lot.
You have normie friends.
I used to go to weddings, but they're all married now.
Speaking of weddings, have you seen the Bridesmaid TikTok trend? I know you haven't because you don't watch TikTok. Can I show you this?
Yeah.
So people are doing this trend and it's so funny. And I have to show you this. Basically, they're doing makeup like, what if this was the song where people walked down the aisle and this is the pace that they came out? And this is the one that I saw first. Isn't that good?
That's so good.
Hold on, let me show you another one.
You know, this is like what I think. I'm so sick of every wedding looking the same, right? Everybody's following the traditions. Oh, you do the same shit. Let's make it fun. Make it crazy. You never know what's going to happen, right? Where you're kind of scared.
Do it.
Right? You know, it's a little bit horror.
Do it like this.
You're like, ooh, what's going to happen? See? Bridesmaid number 1, death drop.
Yep. This is
what I'm talking about.
perfect. Mix it up a little bit. God, there's so many of them. They're just so funny.
I had an idea one time where I was like, if I come down the aisle, I want to come down to an orchestral version of Roses. Caroline. I hope she's speeding down the highway trying to put on the makeup in the mirror.
Tricycle.
Crash, like a whole, you know, in Love Actually, in the beginning of Love Actually, when they have that, you can't always get what you want. It's like a whole choir. I would want that, but Roses.
Ooh.
You know, and it would just send shockwaves through the attendees.
You know what would be kind of incredible is coming down the aisle dressed in the Jigsaw mask on a tricycle. You know what I wanted to do? Hold on. Let me tea for a second.
Okay.
One idea that I brought up to my ex-husband that I wanted to do for the wedding that I got shut down on.
That's why you guys got divorced.
Which is why we got divorced. It's not, but it was a tick on the list. I wanted to do a costume, like Halloween themed wedding, where it was like, instead of just like a normal wedding, it's just a costume party.
Yeah. And you guys are the bride of Frankenstein.
Sure, whatever, like anything. But like, it wasn't just a,
and he said no.
maybe not. It wasn't just
boring.
it wasn't like a maybe not. It was like a,
what is wrong with you?
and I was like, oh,
sorry.
like I said that's well. So if I ever get married again, non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable. Sam will be dressed
Non-negotiable.
as the little girl from Hereditary after she gets her head chopped.
No, me and my husband will be dressed in blue
He'll be-
dresses,
yeah.
holding hands like the little girls from The Shining.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's imagine the long hallway of like the guests are sitting on either side, and then the ring bearer comes,
Yeah.
and then he just
that's
goes,
what I mean. Right.
Yeah.
Like you want surprise. You want shock. You
Drama.
want awe. You
I want
want
drama.
You want it to be memorable, right?
I want like just a body to drop down from the ceiling.
Because everything else, been there, done that. All right. All these
Boring.
weddings look the same,
Boring.
feel the same. Before we move on to the next thing, should I say what Rosie O'Donnell's comments were on? Rosie O'Donnell, who was on our 100 queer people list.
Yes, we should. At the end, we should go over that and discuss that.
We can also do it on the Patreon.
Yeah, on the Patreon. Okay, here's what we're going to do on the Patreon. We're going to review our 100 queer people list that we wrote for the charity stream yesterday and apologize or justify or
I don't think
discuss
I have anything really to apologize
what
for.
happened.
We'll talk about what
We're going to be
happened.
talking about the drama.
About the drama.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Rosie O'Donnell wrote in an Instagram post that she was sickened by Jeff Bezos' lavish wedding. The days-long event, which had, again, A-list celebrities ranging from not Leo DiCaprio. Yeah, you can bring him on the table. Not
audience.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
I've been staring at these gummy worms across the counter for like the last 20 minutes, and
That's why I always have them out, because I know you want them.
Dude, it's bad.
To Sydney Sweeney, to the Kardashians, and Oprah as well.
Mm-hmm.
Why did she write this as a poem? Do you see how she wrote
Oh,
this?
it's a haiku.
The Bezos wedding. It turned my stomach seeing all these billionaires gathered in the gross excess of it all. The show
Bezos
of
wedding.
it. True. Is Oprah friends with Jeff Bezos? Really? How is that possible? He treats his employees with disdain. By any metric, he's not a nice man. And his fake fembot wife who looks like that. Why would he choose her? After the salt of the earth, Mackenzie sold his soul is what it looks like from here. The devil is smiling at all his conquests. Read the rest at Rosie O'Donnell on Substack.
No.
Hashtag Substack. Hashtag Bezos wedding.
Because it's poetry. Poem snaps.
Because it's poetry.
Is she religious?
No, I don't think so. I mean, not the Rosie I know, but maybe...
You know her?
I do know her. It's funny. It's funny that she's like specifically calling out Oprah, but it's because, you know, Oprah, when you think about like Barack Obama's campaign, you know, when you think about like big liberal donors and supporters in Hollywood, Oprah, and then yet here she is at Jeff Bezos' wedding, you know, where Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump are, because it's one big club.
Can't help herself.
And we ain't in it. No. Just a reminder for everyone.
Well, they asked me, but I was busy that day.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to co-sign. I don't care for Lauren Sanchez and her fake, like, flight to space in the name of feminism.
Like, she looks like she's going to open her mouth and devour me.
Yeah. Like, I will just say I'm not co-signing the second half of Rosie's statement where she's like, look at Mackenzie. I will say, as far as Mackenzie Scott donating 99% of her wealth or whatever it is, like, yeah, great. But Rosie being like, look at this natural looking woman compared to this fembot, where it's like, okay, look, Lauren Sanchez, you can criticize her for a lot of reasons. I will say overall, though, like, it is strange to see the Jeff Bezos transformation from
bald.
Well, he's still bald.
I know.
But like when he got with Lauren and started to become more of a celebrity and, you know, is like buying his way into fame. And then he started like
he kind of is like trying to like yassify a little bit.
Yeah, no, definitely they're like the yassified couple compared to him and Mackenzie Scott. But I would say, she literally shared these photos.
Wow.
She shared. It's like,
Is the one on the right?
Rosie. We also could have made. We could have made these points. We could have made these points without you needing to like post. This is the photo she posted. So I guess, you know what I would say to wrap this up. What I would say is,
I can't wait for the third wedding. 100 million.
I think spending 60 mil was cheap. Like, I'm sorry, is
broke
Amazon?
Ass.
Yeah, you broke
ass.
Broke. You know it starts with B.
Broke
and
broke bitch
and Bezos and bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, buddy.
Sorry.
Grow up.
I know times are hard out here. You're gonna have to exploit some more workers.
I was sent some tea in the music industry.
Some tea in the music
Which is crazy because there's never tea in the music industry.
I like how it's like your phone She's like,
incoming transcript.
She's like, I was sent.
I make it sound like somebody in the industry sent it to
sorry,
me.
was this for me?
Yeah. I thought you'd want one.
Yeah. Can we get maybe...
Also, did you see me have a crisis earlier when I kept eating them and then I literally went...
No, I didn't.
I had to
I think I was really locked in on Rosie O'Donnell's haiku.
Yeah, you really nailed that.
So you
do you want more?
Provided this for me. No, I'm okay. Thank you. You're like mama bird.
Yeah, you can.
You're like,
open up.
Yeah, will you feed this right into my mouth?
Did you know I watched a video about kissing and
why to learn how to or
yeah, and then I practiced on my hand. Did you ever like practice kissing on your hand or did you just wing it?
I just winged it. I winged it.
I watched a video about kissing where it was like why do we kiss? Because it's kind of just like a weird thing.
Also, my first kiss was in theater.
Of course it was.
So I had to learn how to do that.
I shared my first kiss with one of my best friends. Nope, that makes it sound super gay. Sorry.
Oh yeah, just, you know.
Happy Pride, everybody. Not what I meant.
In high school, my friend and I were just practicing.
Okay, I wanted that so bad. I me and my best friend kissed the same guy, like literally. And shout out to Dylan with the Riz of the century. We were all hanging out. It was me, my best friend, and Dylan, and we both had a crush on Dylan. And so then Dylan, literally, we were all walking at night, like down this like road, and he was like, he literally just straight up was like, "Can I get a kiss from both of you?" Because he was leaving. And then it was like, I kissed him.
And
then my friend kissed him.
Shut up. He was just like, you know what? I'm fucking. It was see if this works.
Actually, so impressive. Like I don't. And then I was
it
like,
a makeout or was
no,
it like?
It was just a kiss.
He just goes, "Can I get a kiss?"
Literally,
from both
just
of you?
straight up was like, "Oh, can I get a kiss goodbye from both of you?" And we were like, "Okay." Which is crazy, crazy Riz by Dylan. Shout out to Dylan.
Also, Dylan is a hot guy name, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's like Break Your Heart.
Dylan O'Brien. Dylan, who I went to junior high with, who was hot. Dylan. This Dylan.
This Dylan is not hot anymore.
Well, okay.
Maybe
but back then.
Probably isn't doing so hot.
I just feel like Dylan was that kid, you know, junior high, high school, like early 20s. You're like, oh, Dylan.
Yeah, like Dylan's going to make you feel bad, but he's hot and probably rides a skateboard.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dylan. Okay, drama in the music industry. So there's this band on Spotify who has about 500,000 monthly listeners, and people have discovered that, I don't know if they've discovered definitively or they think it's AI.
It's AI. Yeah, I saw this.
I'm just seeing this just now. I'm reading it in.
Okay, first of all, how long has this AI band been?
It's not the first one. You know what's funny is keeps happening, and a lot of times the bands are a little bit more like, hey, okay, so this was like a year ago, something like this happened, but the band was kind of mixed into Spotify playlists that were like, hey, here's some music you put on in the background when you're chilling. It wasn't like this is a band you're going to listen to and like and go out of your way to pick their music. But there's lots of bands that are like Spotify curated like bands that are just like AI chillin' music.
Do you know who kind of gives AI? Benson Boone. Like, do we know if he's a real person?
I have so many questions about Benson Boone.
So many questions.
Because there is one Benson Boone song that I know. I know there's more. He just put an album out. The Cookie. Have you seen the Benson Boone Cookie?
Girl, I'm not watching The Cookie.
No, you eat a cookie. You don't watch it. You eat it with your mouth.
Okay, then I'm not.
The crumble cookie. You don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I do. He does have a... Like, this is what I mean, where Benson Boone feels like human AI.
He does. And he, like, is so interesting from the concept of, like, I do think, like, I hate to do the, like, industry plant thing because I do think it discredits a lot of people. I am so, like, on the edge of my seat feeling like he is.
Let me just read this quote.
Yeah.
Okay. This was from a Variety review of his album, American Heart, which this is him.
Yeah, and didn't he say, oh, it's not political?
Yeah, hold on, ready?
Is that what you're going to...
He compares his religious uncertainty to politics, another subject he's not super eager to get into in detail. People think if you have one or two views that are on the left or right side, that you have to be the left or on the right.
Oh, that's always
and I don't
the
think
bad
that's
one.
How it is.
That's always what they say.
He does want to make it clear that calling his album American Heart isn't meant to drag him into any culture wars. It's not political at all. It's more of a personal thing. Yeah. It's just me. American Heart is my heart. And it's not my heart. It's not my heart because it's American. It's my heart.
You're doing the Rosie O'Donnell voice
Boone.
again.
That's kind of, you know what? That's like Rosie O'Donnell. Plus, I've never listened to Benson Boone talk. So that was just my interpretation of him mixed with a little Rosie
He flips.
O'Donnell.
That's what he does. He flips.
So he sounds like he's just very stupid. But also, to me, it's like a human AI.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of just out there doing things.
Like what is this?
You know what there's been a rise of, speaking of the Benson Boone crumble cookie?
Yeah, also I do want more deets on this other band though.
Yes, we'll talk about this. There's a rise of celebrity sponsored food items.
Yeah, also he would do crumble cookie, which
I have beef with crumble cookie.
It will kill you.
Crumble cookie made us sick for
days.
Never. So we did a stream where we tried every flavor of crumble cookie, and I remember texting you the next day and being like, is anybody in the group sick? And I was like, I feel my body hurts.
I couldn't stream.
My skin hurt. My
ill.
body hurt. I was like having horrible farts. Like I was just sickly. And then I texted you and you're like, I'm the same. I think we sugar overloaded our body to the point where we went into this like shock.
Yeah. Like if you loaded up a crumble cookie into a Nerf gun and shot it at an orphanage of Victorian children, it would kill all of them instantly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. So this band, I'm kind of flying on the seat of my pants here. Apparently this band has only existed for 2 weeks and it's all AI. How long until you see someone wearing their merch?
Are those fake views? Like, are those, you know what I mean? Maybe, are they now cooking
or maybe the AI is so good that it genuinely has
don't even
fans?
Say those words. Don't even.
No, not good, but like convincing enough? Like, or are they juicing
like, do people know who are consuming this AI band know that it's AI?
Here's what's funny is this is how every time I've seen an AI band be like uncovered on Spotify, it's because of the bio and how weird it sounds. So here's the bio and it cuts off, so I'm not going to be able to read all of it. But it says, the Velvet Sundown don't just play music. They conjure worlds. Somewhere between the ghost of Laurel Canyon and the echo of a Berlin warehouse, this 4-piece band bends time, fusing 1970s psychedelic textures with cinematic alt-pop and dreamy analog soul.
Yeah, that's just
that's my day
words.
list. That's my day list every once in a while. Do you have Spotify?
Yeah.
What's your day list today? I love looking at my day list because it always describes it as like... So today, my day list is poetry, situationship, Monday afternoon.
Power ballad, brat summer, Monday afternoon.
Oh, wow. Hey guys, drop your day list in the comments, please. We want to look at those.
Here's some power ballad, brat summer, 2020s, aftermath, girl dinner, Afrofuturism.
Oh yeah, I didn't read the little bio of mine. Mine says, here's some poetry, situationship, girl dinner, yearning, whimsical, soul crushing. That's what I love, a whimsical, soul crushing afternoon.
It's whimsical and it'll crush your soul.
Wow, thank you so much. And the first song is Sexy to Someone by Clairo. Nice. And Headphones On by Addison Rae, which kind of like it.
I mean,
kind of like it.
Addison Rae's debut album dropped it better than Miley's.
I liked it.
You know, she has a good team. They know
She
what they're doing.
does. Oh.
She rebranded hardcore and it was successful.
Yeah.
They did it.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Okay, so this fucking AI piece of shit band that has allegedly 500,000 listeners on Spotify.
Yep.
So who's listening to this band?
So it doesn't talk about like the audience who's listening to it, but look at like the photos of these people that are in the band. They just look too perfectly who you think would be in a band.
Yeah, it's
like,
giving like it's giving like every band that I had on my green iPod.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
They're like a perfect mix of like the
Mumford
Beatles,
Sons
but also
mixed up with
the names of the members in the band, which I don't know if we looked to see if these are real people. Their bio is formed by singer and mellotron player Gabe Farrow, guitarist Lenny West, synth player Milo Raines, and percussionist Orion Del Mar. None of them have ever been interviewed. And not that a social media account is necessarily proof of life, but none of them have Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook accounts. Which in 2025, I'm so sorry, but like that is a lot of the backbone of music now.
Yeah, also when you are an indie artist, like you are doing so much social media to try and get your music out there.
So
I mean, Chapel was on TikTok for 7 years.
We're not going to be able to include this in the episode because it'll get us DMCA'd, but me and Caroline are going to listen to a song. We'll tell you what song we're listening to, and then if you want to pause and listen to it, and then we're going to talk about it.
This feels like a horror film.
Okay, so we're going to listen to like a minute of Dust on the Wind. So if you want to pause and do that. First of all, look at the Dust on the Wind, Drift Beyond the Flame, The Wind Still Knows Our Name, End the Pain.
Bro, you can just see how this is pulling from like the Eagles, from like Red Hot Chili Peppers, from you can just see how this is a machine that's generating titles.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to listen to Dust on the Wind. Yeah, okay. So it sounds like a combination of all the music that my dad listens to with the most generic lyrics that you could probably come up with, or the most perfect lyrics of like what you think that would have. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You know what? It sounds like where it's like, okay, you're given a prompt where, okay, come up with a song in the form of, like these artists.
Yeah. Yeah, it's giving exactly what you would imagine it would. Also, even like the cover art for this album is, very AI coded.
Wait, also, apparently people are reporting this is the first song in their Discover Weekly. So like this has to be, this is Spotify. This is what I mean by like, there is no way that these are 500,000 real listeners. That like, this just popped up in what you said, the last 2 months. The last 2 months, this is a completely fake band that Spotify is pushing.
With no social media presence. So that's the biggest thing. It's like, I'm so sorry, but like in order to be a musician and to like rise in today's world, I truly do think you need to have a social media presence that's strong. That is just what works.
I mean,
especially as
there's so much
band.
about this that is like, it's very, very clearly a fake band, but like, I think the really insidious part here is that Spotify is pushing this, right? I'm sure the CEO has some investment in AI, and how also like, oh, they can then, if they are pushing fake bands that they're not paying money to, then that means real artists make less money. Wait, look at this. Look at this response on Twitter. Apparently this band has only existed for 2 weeks, not even 2 months, 2 weeks. 2 weeks!
Yeah,
and it's all AI. How long till you see somewhere in the mirror? They responded. They have a Twitter account. Not AI, but thank you so much for the kind words.
Get an interview. Like get them a video. That's the most AI looking photo. They look AI.
It's the most AI.
I'm gonna eat my words so hard if they're not AI, but I would bet money on it.
There's not a shred of evidence on the internet that this band has ever existed.
Like, I'm so sorry, but like, have they never done a live performance, even in like
the
a warehouse
Velvet
somewhere?
Sundown, like the Velvet Underground.
Yeah.
I'm literally looking at the poster for the Velvet Underground in Nico.
That's such an AI photo.
It's so fake.
It's so AI.
What are we talking about?
Insane.
Like, but that's what these companies are doing, though, is that they are like, oh, yeah, we're just gonna, make a fake AI band.
Yeah.
And then push that on our platform.
So what happens if it pops off and people love it, and then they're like, yeah, so anyways, we know you would love to see these people in concert, but so we...
Well, it's not about that, though.
Yeah, it's
right?
about the listens.
It's about the listens.
100% of it goes back into Spotify. They don't have to pay anybody out.
What the...
Yeah, that's diabolical.
That is so...
And that's definitely...
Kill this shit. Kill this shit with fire.
That's the shit that will go into your day list. That's the shit that will go into your, like... It'll be a filler. You'll listen to, like, 9 real bands, but then this one will be, like, the 10th one, and that's one less payout they have to give to an actual... It's filler.
Somebody tweeted, said, listening to Dust on the Wind, LOL, by AI band The Velvet Sundown. And it reminds me again that AI art always feels like robots making fun of people. Like, this sounds and looks like a pretty brilliant parody of a million retro rock bands from LA. A ripoff of a ripoff.
Have you ever... You don't have TikTok, so... one thing I'm getting on TikTok a lot is AI trying to recreate little skits. The AI is trying to have humor.
Remember the one I showed you too, where they did like the street interview, AI street interview, like they're trying to capitalize on memes.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll do these like top 10 funniest AI moments, and it'll be like an AI like doing a one-liner that's like trying to be funny. And like every once in a while, one will get a little bit of like a blow air out my nose moment, and I'll be like, oh no. No.
Oh God.
No.
So before with AI, it's like, oh, people, they're tinkering around, but they'll own up, right? They'll go, of course, yeah. This look at I made in Sora, right? this is an elaborate hoax.
Yeah.
This is trying to convince people that this is real. That now they've set up a Twitter account and they respond to tweets being like, sorry, not AI, but thank you so much for the support.
Yep.
This is nefarious.
They're trying to bamboozle us. They're boozling us. We've been boozled. No, I'm not boozled. I refuse to be boozled.
Yeah, and
no
then,
boozled.
oh God, we're not being boo-boo-boos.
I will not be labooboozed.
I will not be laboo-boo-boos.
They've got us focusing on the
I will
laboobos. We need to
not.
focus on this.
But the other thing, on the other side of the coin then, is I see so many, like, people will post their actual art. Like, there's this artist I follow.
Yeah.
She's Palestinian, and she makes the most beautiful oil paintings. And somebody just commented, wrote AI slop. And she's like, no, this is not AI. Like, yeah. And that thing kills you. That kills you too. The like AI slop.
People are so quick. I noticed this in my chat too, which like I always have to be like, don't like, people are super quick to be like, oh, that looks like AI. I think it's AI, because I think it's the debunking. People love to debunk.
Well, also, okay, yes, people love to debunk. They also don't want to seem like they're getting tricked.
Yeah.
That they're getting tricked. But
I got tricked. I showed a TikTok on stream that I thought was so funny. And my chat was like, I've
had that happen.
It was a lady. It was this old lady, and she was at like a rave, and they were like, the guy's like, are you on anything right now? And she's like, it's a combination of ecstasy and something for like heart burn or something like that. I don't know, like Robitussin or something. It's a combination of like Molly and Robitussin. I call it whatever. It was funny, and I was like, oh my God, this is funny. And then my chat's like, AI.
And you feel embarrassed.
It's embarrassing. So people don't want to be bamboozled.
Yeah. And then it's also a way for people to use it as like a fake news.
Yeah.
Or like to be insulting.
Yeah.
Right? They go, AI.
AI. Yeah. I do not want to be boozled.
Would you ever, what's like a shortened version of sandwich?
A shorter version of sandwich? I mean,
Samway.
It's Samantha to Sam.
Yeah.
Or like Sammy, which we've talked about this. I actually banned these in my chat. I banned the word Samantha and I banned the word Sammy because I hate when people type it in my chat to me. So it's like, I've thought about just changing it to Sam, but I already changed my name legally. That shit fucking sucks.
The reason I'm asking is because Rob McElhenney of It's Always Sunny fame just filed to legally change his name. And he's changing his name to Rob Mac, which Mac is actually his name on the show. But he was concerned that he's doing business with other regions of the world and they won't know how to pronounce Rob McElhenney.
Oh. Okay.
So he literally filed documents, and it's crazy because his wife, Caitlin, well, no, I know professionally she goes by Caitlin Olsen still, but his kids have his last name too, and so I think they're
they all gonna have to?
I don't know. Apparently they're upset by him changing his last name to Mac.
You know what that is? That is a rich person thing, because changing your name is so if you're changing your name for a marriage or a divorce, it's a lot easier because those are kind of basically like the Social Security office will be like, yes, this is a thing that happens a lot. The process is easy. You just have to show them like your paperwork. If you want to change your name, like when trans folk like want to change their name, it's a fucking pain in the ass. So that is like a rich person that's like, I'll pay a bunch of other people to help me do it.
I'm sorry. I just think that this is really silly.
It is silly.
Like, he apparently has a docuseries and it's following him and Ryan Reynolds' acquisition of the football club Wrexham AFC. And they've been investing in teams in South America. And I apparently he's just concerned that they will struggle with his multi-syllabic name.
Well, it's like okay, they struggle with it, and then whatever, you correct them, or like, is that going to be is he going to be so like, is that going? It's hard because it's like,
you know what this feels like, a rare instance of a white guy with a white name changing his name versus like, a lot of people with ethnic last names, when they move to America, they will take on very white sounding names to, help with assimilation, to try and like, make it easier for white people to be able to say their names.
I guess he's kind of doing that, but something about it seems weird.
But it seems so silly. And then he said he'd been concerned that altering his name would be disrespectful to his ancestry. However, he discovered.
Oh, are they going to care?
You know what I want? I want an A24 film of a guy who has a very Irish sound, an Irish name, and he changes it, and then his Irish ancestors come back and haunt the shit out of him.
Yeah.
However, he discovered that some of his relatives had already altered the spelling of their surname across generations to make it easier to spell and pronounce.
That's weird, and I think he should just shorten it to one letter. Just shorten it to... He should just have one name like Obama.
Yeah.
Or Kesha.
Or Cher. Or Madonna. But the problem is his name is Rob. Maybe he should just go by Madonna.
It's true. We should all go by Madonna.
Yeah.
This is like yesterday we were talking about, does Barack call Michelle Obama and does Michelle call Barack Obama?
Obama. Can you imagine being named you're named Madonna and you're trying to I don't know, make it as an artist or some other person where being able to be Googleable is helpful.
It would suck to
and you have to go up against Madonna.
Yeah. Or maybe you're an inspiring artist and you start to get a little bit. I actually have a story like this. Disney, I told you this for sure. Disney actually kind of recently, 3 years ago, copywrote sandwich the same way I spell it.
Also, I just realized this light is not on.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
So let there be light.
Let there be light.
Yeah, so
yes,
Disney copywrote sandwich. It's Sam Space Witch, but it's spelled the exact same as mine because allegedly they're developing a show. I haven't heard anything about it, but they did copyright it. And so I'm kind of sitting on the edge of my pew,
oh my God, you might have to pull Rob McElhenney.
Well, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I hope they drop the show next week or soon because I will absolutely take a payout from Disney to change my name. I'll take it. I'm not I like
all right,
sandwich.
Disney, you heard her. She'll take a payout.
Give me a fat payout. I'll walk.
She'll take the bag.
But because it's I'm not famous enough where it's going to be catastrophic to my career. You know what I mean? Where it's give me $1 million.
No, you know what we have to do though? We have to make you really toxic so that Disney doesn't want. They don't want the association.
No, but I want them to pay me.
No, but I'm saying is that they will then be more incentivized to get you to change your name because they wouldn't want any of
they can't change theirs.
Yeah, so you have to, I don't know, do some
slur.
really crazy stuff. No, we got to go past that. Slurs are back, don't you know? We have freedom again.
No, that's true.
Yeah, in post woke America.
No, you're right.
We won the right to be able to say slurs.
That's true. What's the worst thing I could do that wouldn't get me arrested?
You might need to. You might need to almost look at this as sandwich. You have to become a political creator. I'm sorry because. Yeah. You have to make it so that Disney is we can't have any of
I'm going to be a political
views.
creator, but I'm only going to be wrong. I'm going to report everything incorrect. And that's what we have to do. Sorry,
Disney.
Disney.
You have to do to get your bag.
Yeah. Do you want to do Let Me Know segments?
Sure.
Let me know.
I have a fun Let Me Know segment. Yippee. And it's a certain sequel of a certain film has started.
And is the first film 19 years old?
Fuck. Do you have this?
I'm not going to Paris. You're not going to Paris. No.
Oh.
I don't. I just saw that on Twitter that it was 19 years old.
Did we have another?
No.
Okay.
No.
So yeah, Devil Wears Prada 2 is back. Mm-hmm. And good news, Adrian Grenier, who is the villain of Devil Wears Prada, will not be joining for the sequel.
Meryl Streep was the villain.
No, because you've never seen the meme of the villain and it's Meryl Streep's face and then it's the real villain and it's Andy's boyfriend played by Adrian Grenier, who is an insecure little bitch in the movie. He's the real villain. Have you watched Devil Wears Prada in a while?
Like when it came out.
Okay. If you go back, and even when I watched it the first time, I remember being like, dump him, Andy. Dump him. Yes. The devil, it's like the villain and the real villain. That was a meme format for a while where they would take shows and films. And basically it's like, here's who they presented to you as the villain, but here's who the real villain was. So anyway, Devil Wears Prada 2 has just started filming. We've got Meryl Streep back. We've got Anne Hathaway, Emily Blunt, Stanley Tucci. Kenneth Branagh is joining the cast. And let's see, as far as the story
And they
goes,
all look the same.
They look the exact same. The story details are pretty under wraps, but reportedly it will be following Miranda Priestley as she is trying to figure out her next career move because traditional magazine publishing is on the decline. It's also funny that like Anna Wintour has just stepped down as editor-in-chief.
Oh, interesting.
You know, and we have the news of Devil Wears Prada 2 in production.
Interesting.
So she is, you know, faced with this declining industry, which means a decline in her power. And she goes up, like, she faces off against Emily Blunt's character, who is now a very high-powered executive for a luxury group with advertising dollars that Miranda desperately needs. We don't know how Anne Hathaway's character is gonna be a part of this, because remember at the end of the film, she quits and goes and works for a newspaper, right? She goes and does a serious job. She's back. Like she's a reporter now. She's a journalist. So that's the update there. It's supposed to open in theaters on May 1st, 2026. So less than a year from now.
Sheesh.
Less than a year from now. Florals for Spring. How groundbreaking.
You're going to be so all up in that theater.
I fucking love Devil
We
Wears
should try to
Prada.
go to the premiere.
We should try to.
Please. If anybody's listening to
please.
this. That should be our goal, is we somehow
Please.
figure out how to make it happen.
Like the premieres I get invited to, they're all, video game movie premieres. Stuff
begging.
Love it. Great. Thank you. But
Begging.
please, can I go
We
to
will
the
beg.
Devil Wears Prada 2 premiere?
We will beg.
Please.
And we find out that you have an in and you didn't invite us, we will come for you.
Yeah.
And we have a special set of skills.
Meryl is so.
She's so
she
good.
is such an icon.
She's so good.
I watched that film. I was like,
You're like, this is me.
just all her little
Yeah. Just
way she moves.
this facial expression.
She could
Whatever that
kill
is.
you. She could kill you with a look.
I bet she gives a really good backhanded compliment.
Like I've heard Meryl herself is chill. Like she's great.
I read a thing
Miranda
saying
Priestley.
how she when she's on the set, she's like on the set. Like she'll come in on days that she's not even in the scene to like.
The gal loves movies. She does. So that's what I let you know about, is that Devil Wears Prada 2 is officially in production.
Stunning. Mine is a little bit of a guessing game, which I think will be fun.
Okay.
So Glastonbury Festival in England.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's happened this week.
A lot of things, which we can talk about next week.
Is this what your
No.
Is your let me know going to be about Bob Villain?
No. It's just
Can
about...
I just say, if you brought that up as your let me know, that would
it blow your mind?
I would have been very impressed. It would have blown my mind.
No, mine is a guessing game. So Glastonbury is a festival in England. It started in 1970 by Michael Eavis, who was a dairy farmer who basically went to a blues festival and was like, that's kind of chill. I think I'm going to have one of those. It was called the Pilton Pop Blues and Folk Festival. And the early performers were David Bowie, The Smiths, Elvis Costello. And now it attracts over 200,000 people each year with some of the largest pop icons. So I'm going to give you a number. And you're going to guess what about the Glastonbury Festival that pertains to. So the first number is probably going to be pretty easy. It's 210,000 people. Well, I just kind of spoiled it. I said people. 210,000
Do you want to try this again?
Yeah. Okay.
Because, it is a podcast. Where
Yes, that's true. We can start over.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one is the number 210,000. What do you think that pertains to?
Maybe people.
Shocking.
How did I know that?
Shocking. So 210,000 is the full capacity of the festival, including fans, staff, and performers.
Okay.
The next one is 1,200,000.
Porta potties.
No. This is pints of beer that are stocked across the entire festival. That's the equivalent of 2 standard sized swimming pools. But the thing about it is they have a BYO policy, which festivals in America, like you can't do that.
Not.
So people will literally wheel like wheelbarrows in of alcohol because you can bring your own, which is they check your cars at American like festivals. Like when me and Brody went to we saw King Gizzard at the Gorge. Like you have to get out and stand next to your car, and they like let a dog smell your car and kind of check your glove boxes and stuff.
Yeah, no, they're anti-fun.
Yeah. Okay, the next number is 120,000.
120,000 people having sex.
Probably. It's actually the largest crowd ever for one set. Do you want to guess who? It was in 2023.
Glastonbury 2023, the largest set. Was it, let me think of who would have been there. Was it Chapel?
Nope. Elton John. It was his farewell gig.
Oh. Sorry,
right.
Chapel was blowing. Oh, no, that was 2024. Wait, that was only last year.
Yeah. Which I don't know how big hers was, but it had to have been close.
Wait, has she even been?
No, because I know what you're thinking of, and that was something else.
No, she's been in okay.
Okay, 4,000.
4,000 pounds of cocaine.
No, number of toilets. That's the amount of toilets that they have.
See, to me, an ideal festival has 1 million porta potties.
Yeah, see, it seems disproportionate how many people are probably pooping. Okay, the next number is 3,972.
3,972 virgins?
Maybe. That's the number of performers that come to perform, which is crazy because
That's
like
wild.
obviously you hear the like headliners and stuff, but like
almost 4,000 performers.
Yeah, and I think it has to probably be individual, like
How long
every
is
member of a
Glastonbury?
band. Probably like a couple days. It's probably like standard.
That is
like
so many.
yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Now like that I'm think that surely that's not the amount of performers that have ever performed.
I'm sorry, 4,000 for one. Are we sure
That's got to be like that's got to be because all these other metrics are 1 year, but that one really seems like that's
doesn't
total.
seem right.
But why would they have it be like one of the metrics is total?
Brother, I don't know.
Who knows? This next one is 35.
$35 to buy a hot dog.
Probably, but it's how many minutes it took for the tickets this year to sell out.
Holy shit.
And the tickets sold out before they had even announced the performers. So they announced the festival, 35 minutes, tickets sold out, and they hadn't said who was performing yet.
Oh my God. People
1,000 is the next number.
1,000?
Mm-hmm.
1,000, 1,000 kisses.
Surely more. People be fucking.
1,000 people be fucking. Okay,
be fucking.
1,000 dicks.
Probably. So there's actually 2 metrics. I'll read both of them for 1,000. The first one is how many acres on the festival site. So it's the equivalent of 733 standard American football fields.
Wow.
And the next one is 1,000 cows that usually live on the farmland when the festival is not taking place. Wow. Where they put those cows during the festival, I don't know.
They go on vacation.
Yeah.
They give them a little cash.
They just open the door, they let them out.
They're like, all right, come
get
back
into town
after a week.
And pertaining to that one, there's a bunch of banned items, obviously, from the festival, but there are some specific items that are banned because of the cows. Chinese lanterns are banned. You're not allowed to bring a Chinese lantern to Glastonbury.
That feels so racist.
And body glitter, because there have been situations where the cows ingest them. So they've banned those things specifically.
Wait, the cows can't. They want to be cunty.
Yeah, so they've eaten Chinese lanterns and body glitter. I guess the cows just will consume body glitter.
Okay.
Also, gazebos are banned, but that one makes sense, kind of.
Also, a woman was spotted kissing Harry Styles at Glastonbury. Harry Styles, who you did put on the 100 Great People list, not saying that you can't be, bisexual, of course, but Harry Styles is straight.
Maybe. 400.
400.
2 left.
400 bisexuals
That don't know they're bisexual yet.
that don't know they're bisexual. Yeah.
No, that's food stalls.
Oh,
So there's
okay.
400 food stalls. And then the last one is 30.
30. How old you are.
True. But no, it's the amount of arrests made in 2024. People that got arrested out of
I actually feel like
200,000
that
people.
seems pretty low.
It does. Most of them are drug related,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
understandable.
All right. Good job.
Fun little guessing game.
That was a fun one.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining. Potential first guest next week.
Oh.
We're going to hammer some things out.
Yeah, you guys.
So first guest, I always will consider Jordan our first guest, even though he was on the Patreon. But first
He's
guest
in
on
a
an
special
episode.
place. A
Yeah.
special place in our
Yeah,
heart.
but first guest at this new location.
Next
Next week, which is exciting. Also, it will be July by the time you guys see this, but happy Pride.
Yeah, we hope you had a wonderful
Brave
Pride.
of me, but
Pride
you're
month.
allowed to be gay any day of the year.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry, but legally only in June.
Yeah, Target.
Yeah.
Target's like, excuse me, July 1st.
Target's like, hi, when can we put the Christmas decorations
Yeah.
up? So for the Patreon, we'll be doing
discussing the drama.
We'll be discussing the drama.
I'm leaving and I'm never coming back.
That is so dramatic.
So I never tell that actually second
That
part of the
is
story.
a dramatic end.
We'll be
and there's
talking
a lot of it.
about the spice of life.
And that is Sam being painfulully straight.
Yeah, my bad. I'm also
Yeah.
disappointed. But thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Goodbye.